This is horrible.
I'm on Sammy Terry.
I am Sammy Terry, your devilishly deviant destroyer of peace and sanity. Oh, what's that, George? Oh, I'll most certainly make sure that I tell them. George and I are coming to you here on YouTube Live every Friday evening until Halloween, preparing you for a ghastly holiday and preparing you for my birthday celebration. Tonight, I'll be telling you some horrible stories to set your and your children's minds for Halloween. Oh, make sure you pull up my YouTube channel at 8 p.m. Halloween night to watch my Halloween special. Oh, I'll be showing a special movie presentation of Frankenstein. Oh, yes, Frankenstein. Did you know that 2018 marks the 200th anniversary of Mary Shelley's novel, Frankenstein? So we're paying homage to her, that 19-year-old girl that wrote that novel so many years ago. And I'm bringing you Frankenstein. Oh, yes, George. Oh, yes, I'll tell them. George and I have been hosting and broadcasting a horror movie the first Friday of every month for the last year on Facebook Live. I hope that you've been watching, and if you've not, make sure that starting on October 5th, you start watching them every first Friday. And if you've missed those, oh, you haven't missed only those. For you see, Sammy Terry is the world's longest-running horror movie host since 1962. Oh, we've been bringing you movies and stage shows and events. And now, due to these monthly First Friday Facebook Live broadcasts, Sammy Terry has viewers all over the world. So make sure you share this broadcast with all of your family right now, especially if many of them grew up with me. For people come up to me at every live event and tell me of their childhood memories when siblings tormented one another at the hands and at the foot of Sammy on the TV. So make sure right now, click on the share button on your screen to invite every one of your fiends and family right now. And please let George, my webmaster, know that you like tonight's show by clicking and commenting. Make sure you like this performance. Oh, and go ahead, send George some jollies and put a comment on there, maybe where you're watching from, or if you have a distinct memory of Sammy from earlier years. So we'll be watching those, and I'll also answer any question that you may have that we can get to. I'll get to as many shout-outs as I can throughout the show. Every week, I give you very valuable coupons for when you go to SammyTerry.com. You should see all of the merchandise that literally is being added daily. Oh, you can deck yourself out with hoodies and sweatshirts. Even your dog can have a scarf. And your pet, the baby, you can get a bib there on SammyTerry.com. Our coupon code for tonight, when you go to the SammyTerry.com store, is YouTube926. So when you do your order, there's a spot over on your left-hand side that says coupon code. Type in lower digits, YouTube926. No spaces, dashes, or periods. And you will get free shipping with your order. So I recommend order $2 to $3 million, and you will get free shipping. Tonight, is a very special night, for I have very special guests to introduce to you. And I hear a knock at the door. Come in, come in. Oh my, two ghastly fiends these are. I'm horrified. I'd wet my pants if I looked at you that way. Here, we have Nick Cervise and Josh Hull from Scarlet Lane Brewery. Welcome, Nick. And welcome to you, Josh. Scarlet Lane Brewery holds a very special place in the hearts of all horror fans in the central Indiana area. We'll explain to you why very shortly, but I want to find out first, what in the world would Nick and Josh and Scarlet Lane Brewery be doing here? First tell me, Nick, who are you there? I assume you're the janitor. Tell me a little bit about Scarlet Lane Brewery.
We are a 4-year-old brewery out of McCordsville, Indiana.
McCordsville. Now, where is McCordsville?
Northeast side of Indianapolis area,
Over by Geist. Very good.
We've been around for 4 years. My wife is the head brewer.
Oh, very good. You're a smart man.
I work for her.
Very good. That's right. How many of you would agree? Happy wife, happy life. And Josh, what do you do there?
Nothing.
Much closer to the janitor, I assume.
I'm the assistant brewer over there.
Very good.
I'm also the horror liaison.
The horror liaison and the associate or the assistant brewer? The assistant. Would you rather be the associate brewer?
They're all fine.
Sure, they're both A words.
Yes.
Very good. I'm glad. Well, I know you've brought some things to share with us tonight. In fact, on the screen there, you can see many of the things that Scarlet Lane has to offer. And there, an old VHS tape from Scarlet Lane. It says your slogan, that we're different. Nick, why did you choose that slogan?
Because we're different.
I guess I'm the idiot here.
That came from a new business partner who had an idea for a tagline. He's like, this would be really good. We just said we're different because you guys are creeps. We do a lot of different style of beers. We do a lot of unique ingredients. And then we're also very odd. We have a hearse we drive around with.
Oh, I think already.
Our very first delivery vehicle was the hearse. We host very large, big, elaborate Halloween parties every year. So yeah, we've set ourselves apart as a little bit of a different brewery in the state of Indiana when it comes to our beers and how we embrace the macabre.
It sounds like you're a fun brewery.
We do have a lot of fun, yes.
Oh, that's very good. Now, you mentioned your party that you have. Might you have any shindiggery coming up for this Halloween season?
We do. This year we're hosting an 80s Halloween themed party. So we're doing an interactive beer festival with a lot of professional actors during the beer festival and after party. So the beer festival is 1 to 5. All the breweries that are joining us are decorating their booths to interact with the patrons who show up. And then we're partying from 5 to 10, which is going to be more of the Halloween style after party. That will definitely be different.
Excellent. From 5 until 10, that's the after party there.
Beer festival 1 to 5.
1 to 5, and you'll have all kinds of cretins walking around.
Yes.
Oh, it sounds like a great time. And I know from the demographics of this audience, many of you were around in the 80s. And if you've got some big hair or a big head, you should come to Scarlet Lane Brewery. What's the date, Nick?
October 13th.
October 13th, what a great day of the year. Oh, excellent. Now, you mentioned that you are in McCordsville, Indiana. Do you ever have any aspirations of being anywhere else?
We do. We're opening an old Southside tap room here shortly at 28 South Meridian Street. We're trying to get that open early October, which is the perfect time of year to open up a business for us. And then South Broadway at 46th and College.
Two new
Two
locations
new tap rooms.
at 46th and College in Indianapolis and South Broad Ripple, and then at 2033 South Meridian Street. Oh, make sure, I'm assuming that on your website perhaps, or a Facebook page, they can see and keep up with when the openings are happening.
Yes, follows Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all.
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And there can't be that many Scarlet Lane breweries to choose from. So make sure that you like all of those pages. Make sure that you tweet the twits at Scarlet Lane Brewery. Now tell me, what else do we have here lined up on my coffin?
So we've got several beers. Dorian is our most popular beer. That's the beer that my wife is known for. She's known for brewing stouts. So we do a coconut variant, and then we have an espresso stout that's year-round.
A coconut variant, an espresso part. Very good.
Eric Blood Axe is an 11% Braggot IPA that is very strong and nasty.
It should be with that name.
Probably shouldn't say that with beer. Lots of honey, blood orange, delicious beer. This one is a bourbon barrel-aged variant that we're going to have a special release for the Halloween party. We're going to throw it out there for a little bit of a discount.
A bourbon-based.
And then Lenore is our pale ale, dry hopped pale ale.
A dry hopped pale ale named Lenore. Oh, the Eric Blood Axe. I have a certain affinity for that one. For as you know, Sammy Terry is very old. And my castle might be very close to the ancient castles of the Anglo-Saxon areas. And I remember Eric. Oh, Mr. Blood Axe. He was one of the most vicious Viking kings. His crown was taken from him. It was given back to him. He took that crown. He slaughtered thousands of other kinfolk, including his 3 older brothers, to keep hold of that crown. Eventually, he was banished to the Anglo-Saxon areas. There he became a king again, and then they kicked him out, and he became a king again. But he's always ruthless, just like your beer. Oh, very good. Well, as you know, there's so many things in the month of October for you to be a part of to set your season correct. The macabre is always waiting all around. And many of those places you can celebrate with me. Oh, I've got many places where you'll find me. On Friday, October 5th, I already mentioned, that's our next Facebook Live. I'll be showing the great Vincent Price film, House on Haunted Hill. And then after October 5th, the following day on Saturday, October 6th, I will be in Greenfield, Indiana. Oh, I'll be performing a stage show at the Rick's Theater on Main Street in Greenfield at 7 p.m. Oh, tickets are available in advance or $10 at the door. And I'll be showing after my stage show, Night of the Living Dead on the big screen. Oh, the entire event is sponsored by the Hancock County Historical Society. Make sure that you look them up. You can see from the graphic on your screen now all of the sponsors that they have. It will be a delightful event, and it will start your October in a very haunting way. So come join me Saturday, October 6th. And beyond that, the following Friday, October 12th at 8 p.m. Yes, I'll be coming to you again on YouTube Live. I will be at the Key Haunted House on the east side of Indianapolis, home of the Sammy Terry Dungeon Escape Room. You can learn more of the haunted house at the Key at thekeyindy.com. That's thekeyindy.com. And the following day, Saturday, October 13th at 6 p.m., I will be downtown Peru, Indiana, for their second Saturday event. The whole town shows up, so bring your whole family to downtown Peru. Oh, there will be all kinds of trick-or-treating, People will be in costumes, there will be entertainment, and of course, Sammy Terry and George will be there to meet and greet you on Saturday at 6 in Peru. Then, the next day, Sunday, October 14th, Porch Time, the Martinsville podcast, presents the Sammy Terry Live at the Art Sanctuary. I'll be performing my full stage show. Make sure you come, be a part of my hypnotized group, or maybe a contestant in my game show, or a contestant in my Scream Queen contest. Oh, you can meet and greet with me after my stage show, for everyone else will be watching The House on Haunted Hill, broadcast in the Art Sanctuary. And that is Sunday, October 14th at 6 p.m. That's immediately following all of the Martinsville Fall Foliage Festival festivities at 6 o'clock. And then Friday, October 19th, I'm coming to you again, YouTube Live. We'll be interviewing a great artist in Indiana from Brazil, Indiana, John Rogers, for he has one of the largest customized collections of Sammy Terry things that he has handcrafted. You can look on my website, sammyterry.com, and see the statues that he hand-painted that you can buy for your mantle or your dining room table, front and center. Then, Saturday, October 20th, 2 p.m. in the afternoon, I'll be at the Washington Theater in Washington, Indiana. Again, a full stage show, hypnotism, game shows, Scream Queen. I throw things out at the audience, bricks, mortar, rocks, whatever we've got. You'll want to make sure you're there, for I'll meet and greet you afterwards while they show a horror movie on the big screen. And later that night, just up the road in Bloomington, Indiana, 6 p.m. I'll be at the Starlight Drive-In, performing yet another stage show for all of my fiends in Bloomington. So make sure you catch me at 6 p.m. in Bloomington on the 20th. Friday, October 26th, I'm downtown Indianapolis. 7 p.m. I'll be at the Indiana Landmarks Building. Oh, the beautiful auditorium, the grandeur of the Grand Hall. There we'll be showing you 2 films. The earliest of the Frankenstein films, and the 1931 talkie film. So if you've come before to the Silent Halloween, this year you'll be hearing some talking going on. I'll do my stage show there. We'll have a great time with the audience. That is Friday, October 26th, 7 p.m. You can get in as early as 6:30 at the Indiana Landmarks. The following day, Saturday, October 27th, 7 p.m. in Terre Haute, or rather, Terror Haute, Indiana. I'll be performing at the Moonlight Drive-In Theater. It's brand new, never used before. They have allowed Sammy Terry the honorary distinction of setting it off in a Halloween way. So come see your horror movie there and catch the Sammy Terry stage show Saturday, October 27th at the Moonlight. 2 days later, I will still be haunting Terre Haute, Indiana, for I'll be on the campus of Indiana State University at the Tilson Auditorium. Oh, the Aquila Theater Group is putting on the production of Frankenstein on stage. I'm doing the pre-show for that and announcing. I may also talk to you at intermission, so make sure you come see me before you go into the theater to see Frankenstein on stage on Monday the 29th. And then, the best day of the year, Wednesday, October 31st, Halloween, my birthday. I will be coming back to you on both YouTube Live and Facebook Live for my Halloween broadcast. Oh, we'll dive deeper into Mary Shelley's Frankenstein as I show you a special edition of Frankenstein. And you'll also see lots of vintage Sammy Terry clips from past Halloween shows, including when Vincent Price came into my dungeon, laid in my coffin, and wished me a happy birthday. So when your children come in from getting their tooth decay out in the wilds, at 8 p.m., lock your doors and bolt your windows. Snuggle down with something warm and turn YouTube on your big screen, or perhaps Facebook on your dumb screen or your larger computer screen, and have a horrible Halloween treat. Now, since I mentioned the vintage, let's go ahead and take a look at a vintage clip from years ago, for I've been bringing 56 years of horror to you.
Sammy Terry has been bringing you nightmares since 1962. Here is a vintage classic television clip from the 70s or 80s.
This is the season that vampires like the best. The return of warm weather. And the trees and shrubs and flowers springing back to life. Makes the blood run faster and warmer. And neither the hot, sticky lethargy of summer or the bitter, icy cold of winter can slow its flow. And in the twilight, tender young things like to stroll in the balmy air, glad to be able to get out of the confines of the house. But the shadows are growing longer and deepening from the gray cast by the setting sun to the cave-like blackness of night, making the perfect hiding places for a vampire to lurk and stalk his prey. And the darkening sky and the shadows make it more difficult for the victim or any observer to distinguish the deadly black cape from nature's nighttime mantle. It is in this setting that the vampire can most easily strike. Ah, but there is another stimulation for the vampire in the spring. It's the beginning of the baseball season. It's only fitting that vampires should go bats over spring.
It is now dusk, and the sun relents the day. The moon prepares to claim the night. You and your friends, of moon full and bright, all the ingredients for a perfect moonlight picnic. So you make your way to a clearing in the park. You raise your glass, toasting the warm orange glow of the moon, welcoming its shine of midnight, illuminating your party. And you're transfixed by the moon and its radiance. You gaze upon it, lost in its majesty. And you wonder where you've been all of your life. Details of the luminous sphere are plain, You turn to your friends for yet another toast and celebration, but something has happened in horror. You drop your glass, recoiling in terror of what you behold. What have they become? Werewolves, vampires, zombies, creatures of the night. You scream in fright. You flee from the park, pursued by those you no longer recognize. All the while, your eyes are fixed upon the moon. Is it guiding you? Can it save you? You run until you can run no longer. You stumble, then struggle to your feet in a vain attempt of escape. But it's too late now, isn't it? For they are upon you, and you're unable to move. You're hypnotized by the brilliance of the moon. Fearful of what comes next, your eyes grow heavy as the moon dissolves into a bright, hovering light above your bed. And slowly your vision resumes. And for a moment you're relieved. Was it all just a horrible nightmare? How did you get here? Now, your friends are with you. But are you safe? For they're not your friends, but the creatures of the night. You scream in terror and agony as the creatures prepare for their midnight feast.
Mom, we're all out of cereal.
Try the new Sammy Terry Dungeon Crunch. It's ghoulishly delicious.
Sammy Terry's Dungeon Crunch is fortified with protein, vitamins, and minerals.
3 body parts inside, and you can cut out Goolsby.
Golly gee, Sammy, thanks.
That commercial for Dungeon Crunch is one of our most requested commercials that we run. So many people say they remember eating Dungeon Crunch, along with their Frankenberry or their Blueberry, or maybe their Count Chocula. If you remember those cereals, let me know in the comments below, for we'd love to add you to the list of cereal killers. Josh!
Yes.
Oh, very good. Josh Hall, our friends and fiends at Scarlet Lane Brewery. They're still hanging around. So let me ask you, Josh, a few questions about what you do there and your affiliation as the assistant brewer and the horror liaison. I think all of us need to know what a horror liaison is. So tell us a little bit about what you do, and perhaps a little bit about the movies that you have produced.
Well, at the brewery, I am the assistant brewer, so I assist in every aspect of the brewing process. Just whatever needs to be done, I do it.
And there's a lot of steps, I'm sure.
There's a lot of steps.
Well, it really comes down to you having to really put your life on the chopping block, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Chopping Block is a movie I made. It's coming out later this year, domestic distribution. Look for it soon. I don't have dates yet, but that was my third feature film. It's a slasher comedy. Sort of Friday the 13th meets Horrible Bosses. I'm kind of always imagined what would happen if Laurie Strode got kidnapped and then Michael had to.
Very good. And that's Chopping Block. And where would somebody go to hunt that down when it is released?
It's darksidereleasing.com is going to have all the information.
darksidereleasing.com for Chopping Block. And tell me, what else do you have brewing?
I just have a number of projects in the works right now. Trying to make a movie we're actually going to be shooting in the brewery. It's a Lovecraftian thriller.
Lovecraft, one of the great writers of all time.
Yes. So we'll be shooting that in the back of the brewery, and kind of in our own little dungeon.
Excellent. Now, you also produced a film called Beverly Lane.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that, as our fiends at home are seeing the picture of your fiends at your place.
That was my first feature film. So we're closing in on 10 years now.
10 years? You must have been 63 when you made that film.
Yeah. By the time we finished, I was.
Very
yes.
good.
It's a zombie comedy, workplace. Zombie apocalypse. A bunch of slackers in the office get stuck with those, so they got to deal with it. And we made it in Anderson for very little money, and it's done really well. So.
Oh, very good. We have a lot of Anderson and further north Muncie viewers. If you're from Anderson or Muncie, hello! And there's pictures there from Scarlet Lane. What are those creepy people walking around for?
That's just me, actually. This is from our last year Halloween party.
Very good, because we've already talked with Nick about this year's Halloween party on the 13th of October. For everyone will be coming down for that. Now tell me, do you slide away from horror films at all?
Occasionally, yes. I made a superhero comedy called The Impersonators.
A superhero comedy? Well, superheroes are very popular right now. Did you know that the Incredible Hulk is a very great friend of mine? Yes, he's in my support group. He's one of the vital members of my support group, along with Kermit the Frog and Master Yoda. You see, we get together to encourage one another, for our common theme is Green Lives Matter. Now tell me a little more about your superhero movie, The Impersonators.
So it stars Josh Arnold, who is currently co-hosting the Bob and Tom show. And so him and I wrote it together a couple years ago. We made it all around the area. We try and stick to making a lot of our films in the central Indiana area just to keep it local, because that's where I grew up at. So we made this a few years ago, and it's definitely well for us.
Very good. Oh, and there's a picture of all those impersonators crouching at us. Now, your entire operation is not just the two of you. Do you have any other horror people in your midst?
We do. We have Nathan. He makes horror films as well. That's something him and I have in common.
Oh, that's right. In fact, my audience is very familiar with Nathan Erdell from Gentleman Monster Productions. Oh, many times he's won the rights some of the Sammy Terry content, and he does production work here in the dungeon when Goolsby unties him. But of course tonight, he tried to get away, and he's being stretched. So not here, but of course, as I've mentioned many times, just as Josh has produced his films, Headless is the film that Nathan Erdell always highlights, for it was one of the most bloody, disgusting films of all time. And you can find Headless at places as well. So make sure you check out Scarlet Lane Brewery for your fix of beer and your fix of horror. That makes them different. Now, Sammy Terry has been hosting horror movies for decades. What is your favorite horror movie from this stack of Sammy Terry horror movies that's available on DVD, digital download to own? Or you can rent them for 5 nights for $5 on SammyTerry.com. Look through those, decide your very favorite of your horror films. And Josh, I don't want you to feel left out just because you're slower. So there, you look through these and tell me what your favorite movie might be. If you were to pick one, what would it be?
Vampire for sure, Plan 9 from Outer
Plan 9 from outer
Absolutely.
space, a Vampira fan, as I am, for she was the very first of the horror hosts. In fact, Vampira, her outfit, the very sexy black slinky gown, was inspired by Mr. Adams, the cartoonist that wrote and drew the Addams Family cartoons. So for Morticia, Adams was the inspiration for Vampira. And you're indeed correct. She has a very starring role in this film, as does Tor Johnson. That head you've all seen, whether you know who that is or not. It's the most famous mask you'll find at your Halloween stores, is modeled after Tor's head. And of course, it starred the great Bela Lugosi in one of his later year films. A great Ed Wood film, considered one of the worst films ever made. But it goes well. It goes well for you because, as you've said, you're different. Josh, which picture do you like the best?
No, the Screaming Skull.
Screaming Skull! Did you know that the Sammy Terry Friday night movie last month, or 2 months ago, on Facebook, was indeed The Screaming Skull? A great film of screams and haunts. And with you, with your love of the chopping block, a good skull rolling across the floor is apropos. Oh, very good. And all of these films, of course, are available where? That's right, SammyTerry.com. Well, I wanted to mention again your 80s party on October 13th at Scarlet Lane Brewery in McCordsville. Should they find you on any particular social media or any of theirs?
All of them. Twitter,
All of them.
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Very good. Make sure you've liked their pages. Make sure you've connected with Scarlet Lane Brewery. Come on October 13th to Scarlet Lane for their 80s Halloween party. It will surely be to die for. And before you leave this evening, tell me about the special brew that you're coming out with at your 80s Halloween party.
We're paying tribute to one of the best 80s B horror movies ever, The Stuff, with a white chocolate marshmallow pale ale.
A white chocolate and marshmallow pale ale. If you've never had a white chocolate and marshmallow pale ale, oh, one more reason to go to Scarlet Lane Brewery. And if you are fortunate enough to remember the stuff. Oh, you didn't know when you ate the stuff whether you were eating it or it was eating you. All of the beers at Scarlet Lane Brewery. You can learn from any of their barkeeps the history, the types of ways that they're brewed. They're not your normal brews, for they're different and they're wonderful. Like the Laughing Water, a sparkling brew, if I'm not mistaken. An Australia sparkling. They traveled to Australia to bring back Laughing Waters and put it into a bottle. So make sure you go to Scarlet Lane. You can do flights of beer. You can sample and taste all of them while you're there. And make sure you get your taste of horror from their horror liaisons' efforts. And with that, I want to thank you, Nick, for bringing a difference to the beer-drinking community in Indiana. And to you, Josh, for keeping the tradition of Hoosier horror alive, even in the breweries. Now, I've asked Goolsby to flog you on your way out. He's waiting for you on my patio. And if you mind, take a sudden step into one of these small little bumps there. For there you'll land in your own subterranean condominium about 7 feet long, about 3 feet wide, and about 6 feet deep. So thank you so much. Goolsby, they're coming out now. Bye-bye. You never know what you're going to get on a Sammy Terry live show. And I want to remind you again, for the next 24 hours, your coupon code of YouTube926 is going to be available to you. So you will get free shipping on anything you order from SammyTerry.com. So thank you for supporting Sammy's efforts. Don't forget to like the Sammy Terry fan page so you can take part in our October 5th Facebook Live. Oh, you'll love the house on Haunted Hill. I'll be bringing it to you at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time next Friday. Oh, I'll be right back here. Don't go anywhere, and if you do, rush home next Friday evening, 8 p.m. Make sure that you subscribe to this YouTube channel that you're looking at right now to see all of the upcoming live shows. For on a Friday night, when I am remote at one of my events, I will still come to you live from the event. And if you live somewhere where you can't meet me face to face, you'll want to see me interact with people like you at my events. Make sure that you've liked the Sammy Terry Facebook page. And make sure on your YouTube page here to click that bell to get the notifications that are there, so you'll be alerted. Make sure you check out that SammyTerry.com for all of your merchandise needs and everything you can learn about Sammy. There's vintage information on there. There's things on SammyTerry.com that you should be getting. Now, we're coming to the end of our broadcast this evening. I'd like to thank Terrence Muncie, Mike Wycliffe, our director this evening. Oh, Gerald Hawkins, Mark Johnson. Let's not forget Phoenix, for Phoenix is a guest. Oh, she got tangled up with George's web, so she's not able to make it on screen. But hello, Phoenix. I hope you have a great time at Sammy Terry's castle. Now, as the moon peeks over the horizon, as the nighttime gets darker, rise to the occasion of horror and fright, and you'll find everything you'll need when that moon rotates around the earth. I hope you'll come and visit with me again next Friday night. I'll be in different locations with different guests all the time. Thanks so much to Brett Pittman of Darkroom Photography Studios in Bedford, Indiana. Check out their web pages. And of course, Melissa and Sarah, Nathan Erdell, who's being flogged with the Nick and Josh by Goolsby, Phil Yeary from Nightmare Images, Julie and Tammy from the Key Haunted Escape Rooms. Oh, they all work very hard to keep Sammy creeping into your lives. And until you and I meet again, I wish you many pleasant nightmares.